All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we have a Los Angeles Lakers recap video. They had a very nice victory against the San Antonio Spurs this afternoon to get them to 8-6, led by my boy Anthony Davis. I have been saying this for like 2 years now. Anthony Davis, when he remembers he's like a 6'11 power forward, when he's healthy and he remembers he's a 6'11 power forward, I don't think anybody can stop Anthony Davis. I don't think anybody can. I mean, he started off this game by scoring 3 straight baskets. He had at least 12 in the first quarter, like right out of the get-go. Kept it going in the second, kept it going in the third, and kept it going in the fourth quarter. So Anthony Davis, he had some things to say a couple of days ago about how this Lakers roster, they're not ready to compete. And we'll talk about a couple of different reasons why I disagree, especially the addition of THT coming back from injury. But before we actually go any further into this video, if you guys wouldn't mind hitting that like button and hitting that sub button. I try and post Lakers videos all the time, along with NBA content several times a day. So be sure to hit that sub button. The Lakers, I think, like, the first thing I want to mention is they shot, I have the stat here, 15 of 31 for 48.4% from downtown. The reason that speaks out to me is because of THT. So THT entered the starting lineup today. Frank Vogel said his defense was pretty much the reason he had Talen starting. Well, Talen just so happened to drop 17 points, a handful of rebounds. He also threw in like a steal and a block. But the thing about THT being in the starting lineup is he gets inside. Like, he is just a player who gets inside. And not only does that generate more open looks from downtown, but it's also just like a really good breath of fresh air. You have this really young, promising player who is not only capable of starting, but is capable of like actually producing on a consistent night-to-night basis, and he can play phenomenal defense, and he can score the ball on his own, and he can get downside into the paint. He could also knock down an open three. THT can do a number of different things to a high degree. So I think the addition of THT is really, I think it's going to be so beneficial for this Lakers unit. Now, I know San Antonio, they're like 4 I want to say 9 on the season. So they're not having what we would call a good or a great season. But San Antonio, they can hold their own. They hold their own every single game. It's not like they're getting blown out by 20 every single night with Coach Popovich there. The Lakers can definitely hold their own, and obviously the Lakers, they're very short-handed themselves. I think what THT's arrival reminded me of was Kendrick Nunn. I know Kendrick Nunn doesn't do much for too many people, but Kendrick's going to come out here and provide an immediate bolt of energy off of the bench. Whether or not he's scoring, producing, playing good defense, or what have you, the energy is going to be there every single night with Kendrick Nunn. And he is fully capable of putting the basketball into the basket. I mean, he's fully capable of scoring at a high level. So I think all these young players coming onto this Lakers team, I really think it's going to rejuvenate them. I think it's totally going to rejuvenate them. Combine those two guys with Malik Monk, who had another very solid night tonight, and I don't think you can go too wrong. I honestly view this Lakers team as, once they get to full strength, there's not too many issues with the team. Yeah, a lot of these guys shoot a lot of threes. That's why THT was so important tonight. The defense has had some kinds of issues. There's been some health issues. Russell Westbrook has had some issues. But by the end of the season, I fully anticipate all of these being maybe not completely gone, but at the very least, much more quieted. And I mean, I'm watching Russ. Like, tonight he dropped a very good triple-double. He did have 7 turnovers. But honestly, like, outside those turnovers, he did very well tonight. I mean, I think he only scored like 14 or so points, but he had at least 3 threes in the first 3 quarters. It was really cool. He was playing good defense. He was pushing the pace. I thought Russell Westbrook did a fine job tonight outside of the turnovers and the sloppiness, obviously. But, you know, when you're 14 games into a season and you're playing with just a completely new batch of guys, it's not going to be the most pretty thing. So I think that's really what's happening with this Lakers team is they have all these different players that are trying to mesh, and they're having some issues to start it off. So tonight they shot 52% from the field. They shot over 48% from downtown. They kept the turnovers in check at around 15. They got their rebounds. They were finally going for 50-50 balls. I know that's been a huge issue for a lot of fans, is they just haven't really been, at the start of the season, they were not really going for 50-50 balls. I don't know if they were just too lazy, assuming that they could just coast to a victory or whatever it was, but they're finally going, they're finally pushing, effort, energy, all that type of stuff. So tonight's game was led by Anthony Davis, who had 34 points, 15 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, and a block. He also went 14 of 24 from the field and 2 of 3 from downtown. So I love Anthony Davis, and I believe he's a top 5 player when healthy. My only issue with Anthony Davis to this point was, or until today, pretty much was, he has all these opinions on how bad the Lakers are and yada, yada, yada. So why don't you go out and produce for your team every single night to give them the best shot instead of complaining? And tonight he finally did that, and he got the Lakers a victory. THT plus 14. He had the highest plus minus of any of these Lakers guys, 17 points, 4 rebounds for him. The bench mob did very well, led by Malik Monk and Wayne Ellington. Wayne Ellington, 5 of 7 from downtown for 15 points for him with a plus 12 plus minus. Wayne Ellington, he is starting to hit his flow right now and has been very fun to watch. Malik Monk, he is red hot right now, 6 of 10 from the field, 2 of 4 from downtown for 16 points and 4 assists with a plus 8 plus minus in 27 minutes. So the Lakers got much needed support from their bench unit tonight. Also, Rajon Rondo helped pitch in, 7 assists. Dwight Howard in just 10 minutes had 4 rebounds and 3 assists. And then obviously Russell Westbrook with his triple-double, or he didn't have a triple-double. He was very close to a triple-double. 14 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals, and like I said, 7 turnovers. Moving on to Carmelo Anthony. He was shooting very efficiently tonight, 5 of 7 from the field, 2 of 3 from downtown for 15 points and 5 rebounds. He got the start tonight, so it's actually been really cool to see Carmelo Anthony get so, honestly, just like acclimated this quickly onto this Lakers team and into their culture and into their fan base. So that's it for today. Thought this was a very reassuring victory for the Lakers, this beat up Lakers team. We'll catch you guys in a couple of days. That's it for tonight. Peace.